Very good morning to you. This is ENCA. Now, the Labour Department has shut down a Shoprite store in the Pretoria CBD. It's alleged cashiers weren't wearing protective masks as per government regulations. Let's chat some more about this. I'm joined by Michael Msisa. He's from the Labour Department and has been fully sanitized before he got into the studio, Michael. Thanks for coming through. So tell us about the Shoprite in the Pretoria CBD. Were you tipped off by the public? Was it during a random check? And what did you find?
No, we're not tipped off by the public. It was a random check. We decided to lead a team of inspectors into the CBD, where we inspected a number of retail stores, and some of them were Shoprite and USafe supermarkets. Yeah. And when we arrived there, we were inspecting in terms of hazardous biological agents regulations issued in terms of the Occupational Health and Safety Act to check if employer has got adequate controls to monitor the COVID-19 flow, and so that he assists in terms of the government efforts of fighting the virus. And in that way, we were shocked to realize that there were no adequate controls that were in place, and the employer has not conducted the risk management to our satisfaction that will ensure that the cashiers were keeping a social distance from their customers, and that if the 1 meter line was intervened with, then they had a mask on.
Okay, so they've been shut down. Have they been completely
They've been shut down, but we revoked the notices this morning. With effect from this morning, they'll be operating because now adequate controls are in place.
What was the explanation? They just didn't know, they didn't care, they pretended to be unaware. What was it?
Well, in their case, they felt that the 1 meter was enough, but when we were there, we actually witnessed to say that sometimes customers will break into that 1 meter line, and we said that 1 meter will not be adequate. If it's 1 meter, then they've got to come up with adequate controls, which will include the use of respirators, which are popularly known as masks. If that is not the case, then they should have other means in terms of barriers. We have gone to one shop, a Pick and Pay store, which has a very good glass barrier that would protect those cashiers. But in that case, we said have barriers. So fortunately, at the end of the day, they made sure that they have enough barriers, which created 1.5 meters, and in that way, we're satisfied that the barrier was enough to at least protect those cashiers.
I've seen a lot of uncertainty. This is a personal experience, having gone to one store. I'm going to call it a store, but it's toiletries. They have a pharmacy in there. I'm not going to name them, but I mean, the cashier wasn't even sanitizing the keypad where you put your card in and you've got to put a pin in. And I had to say to her, don't you have a sanitizer for this? And others are doing it, but this one you would expect because they deal in health. This is what they do. That for me is very worrying, that little things, and those are, that little thing is vital. That's direct contact. That's somebody who's come in there and done their little, PIN code, and the next person, and it's not been sanitized. So how are you working around that, or are you aware?
That is very vital. If we are aware of such a store, we'll definitely go there and make sure that we enforce against such behavior, because we understand that there are two alternatives. Either you must regularly wash your hands, but as a cashier, it would not be possible that after each and every transaction, then we'll stand up and go to a bathroom.
But so also customers who are using that
even the customers,
yes,
that is why the sanitizer has to be there. Yeah. Even the customers have to be sanitized so that at least there's adequate control, because the concern in terms of occupational health and safety is not only for the cashiers or the employees, but also the customers that are there, because the Act applies even to those that might be affected as a result. So definitely they should be sanitized. And if we find such a place, we are very intolerant of such, because we are eager to support this government efforts of fighting the spread of the virus, and in that regard we'll have no option but to shut down such operations. And
the other thing, Michael, is that you notice your stores are equipped with sanitizers. Your retailers, your supermarkets have them. Some of them have people who are spraying you, which is great. That's how it should be. There are others where it's left there and say, customers, help yourself. Now, if I'm going to touch that spray nozzle, that's not going to help the person behind me, because who's sanitizing the nozzle after I've used it? It's those little things that are going to prove vital, and then they're not little. They're going to turn out to be big things. So it's that detail that you have to look for.
No, definitely. We went into one store, that was the case, and we issued an improvement notice to say, make sure that from this moment, because you do have sanitizers, make sure that you do have somebody that will stand at the door and make sure that customers are sanitized. And worst thing also, there was a store where protective equipment were offered, but the employees decided not to use them, and the manager was quiet about that. So we said to the manager, it is your duty to ensure that if you provide these PPEs, they are used, and that your employees should use them. In that case, if we find them not using them, we will definitely have no option but to shut down the operation.
If the public wants to tell you about something, like if I want to now tell you which store this was I was talking about, how do they get a hold of you?
Yes, we do have a call center line, 012 337 1997, 012 337 1997, or we have a COVID-19 TERS at labour.gov.za.
COVID-19?
TERS.
TERS?
At labour.gov.za.
At labour.gov.za. Okay, because I think it's through reporting like that we can actually get this.
Thanks
very much, and good luck, Michael. It's not an easy task, but it's so necessary. Thank you so much, Michael. He's a Chief Provincial Inspector at the Department of Labour. And let's just tell you at this point, we were expecting Social Development Minister Lindiwe Zulu to have a telephone conversation with us about the problems experienced with social grants yesterday and now this morning, but it seems that she's unable to chat to us. She is heading into a meeting, we're told, this morning.